Hey guys, welcome back to the paint shop. Bringing you a little basing tutorial today. This is going to be the base for my Slan Mage Priest. I'm going to be doing a very heavy jungle theme for my army. So let's get this started. I'm going to be laying down a nice base of Lustrian undergrowth. Now this is a very different paint to what I'm used to using. It's a texture paint. It's basically paint with sand already mixed into it. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to get a bunch of this out on my palette. I'm going to thin it out so that I can lay down a nice smooth layer on this base. Alright, now that that's thinned out, let's start laying it down. This is a very strange paint, very different to what I'm used to be using, but it's also good. It gives a nice little texture to the base before we start applying all the details. Come back after I've applied this nice and evenly. Here we are, nice and zoomed in so you can see it. I've applied a nice little layer of that down on this base. Once this dries, we're going to come in and start adding the details. I've got here a small little tree branch that I'm going to glue down to this base, and then I'm going to paint up. And then I've also got a little secret blend here of herbs and tea leaves actually that I'm going to be using as the coverage for the base. There we go guys, as you can see, it's all dried nice now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to apply a layer of PVA glue. Now I'm just going to put this down on my palette and I'm going to thin it out with just a little bit of water as well as a bit of Arthonian camo shade. Just so that when it dries, it has a slightly green swampy look to it. Let's thin that out on my board and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alright guys, as you can see, the PVA glue is now taking on a slightly green tinge. This will obviously dry clear and it will have a more prominent green tinge once it's dried. I'm just going to apply this over the base. We're going to use this to adhere our herbs and tea leaves down to. This mixture just sort of represents the undergrowth and the leaf litter on the bottom of a rainforest floor. Once this is dried, and we'll be applying a few extra bits and pieces, some grass tufts, a little bit of aquatic plants, as well as our tree log. So there we go, that's a nice even layer of it. Now we're going to get a little container and we're going to put our base in there, and we're going to just do it this way. Sprinkle it all on top. Give it a little shake. A little bit more in the corners there. Press it down. And the plus side of using herbs, the models will also smell fantastic. There we go guys, I'll just clean up a little bit and wipe the edges down. Now once this is dry, we're going to come back and we're going to add another layer of PVA mixed with Arthonian camo shade, and that will just add to the more wet effect, like in a rainforest, all the humidity. So this forest floor will look more moist and like there's water and moisture just holding onto it. So we're gonna let this dry and then we'll come back and do that later. Alright, now that that has dried, we're gonna apply our PVA mixture. I've used a little bit of soft tone sepia in this, as well as Arthonian camo shade. Now it's quite a runny mixture. It's quite loose. It's quite akin to if you ever made paper mache when you were a child. It's a very wet mixture, and we want it to be over all these brown areas, essentially where the tea leaves have rested, because we want the undergrowth to be more wet than leaf litter on top. I'll be adding more herbs later on, as well as some vines, some small flowers, and a few twigs and our big branch. There we are, almost done. Might put a little bit more over here. Losing a bit of our leaves there. And there we have it. Now we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to come back and we're going to add the last few details to the base. And there we are, guys. As you can see, PVA is now dried. There's a slight gloss in these areas. PVA is just a quick and easier way of achieving subtle water effects. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start adding all the details to this base. I've got this little log here that I painted up. I used Xandri dust as a base coat and gave it a wash of soft tone sepia. And I added just two little mushrooms here to the side of it. As you would see in a forest, natural decomposers. So that's just going to go on the base like that. I'm going to be adding a couple of vines. And I'll just show you a few that I prepared earlier. I've got these two bases here that I've made already. As you can see, they're quite different. This one I've gone for a bit more colour. Got a small log across there, some vines, and this nice little plant on the side, as well as a couple of flowers. Got some white flowers and some yellow flowers over here. And then I've got this bigger one here. It's got a bigger branch here with some vines growing on it. I've still got to add just a little bit of flowers to it, but those are my two other bases, and these are for my two salamanders. So that's just a little glimpse of what they're going to look like when they're finished, but let's carry on with this one. And there we are, guys. As you can see, nice little jungle scene on the base there. Got little mushrooms here, got some nice plants here, some flowers, the log, and a few vines. Just brought a few other little models for you to see how it looks on the base. As you can see, the skinks have little jungle plants on their base, some vines. This one here's got some flowers. And it just gives it's just a more natural looking jungle scene rather than having it painted. And lastly, here's my old blood. As you can see, he's got plant on his base and a little bit of leaf litter around the ruins. And there we go, guys. A little jungle tutorial for you. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that everything that I've showed you has been helpful in some way. As always, please leave a comment below describing, letting me know if there's anything I can improve upon or anything that you'd like to hear or see from me, because I would gladly do some more tutorials for you guys. Just let me know what you'd like. and I'll do some. Anyway, thank you guys. Catch you later.